I'm going to call a spade a spade. Dating apps suck, and for the most part, cold approach sucks. But what if I can teach you how to attract women like a magnet at a bar? And I'm not talking necessarily any like dive bar. I'm talking like a nice swanky restaurant, but you are actually sitting at the bar and women are naturally attracted to you and will start a conversation. So in this video, I'm going to go over the 3 tips that I've learned on how to attract women at the bar without even exercising any cold approach. All right, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys and the women that want to understand them. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification button because I drop videos every week. Woo! All right, let's get into this video. But first, cheers to you guys because we're talking about the bar, all right? And before I go into these 3 things, I want to preface this. Please don't ever, if you're sitting at the bar, order a damn white wine or Prosecco in general. I love white wine and I love Prosecco. But if you're sitting at the bar and you're thinking, wait, I'm going to use this time to try and attract women to me, you need to drink manly drinks. None of this bullshit feminine cocktail crap. I'm talking old-fashioned neat like this. Yeah, I gave myself a big pour because I got quite a few videos to get through, and I like a bigger pour. I don't have any of those fancy rocks, ice in here like you can get at the restaurants and stuff, but I like my whiskey neat. So cheers. 1 second. By the way, if you're wondering what this is one of my favorite whiskeys for the value, and it's Canadian Club 12-year-old whiskey. Retails for about like 30 bucks, 40 bucks US. It's funny because I'm from Canada and the same whiskey is the same price as in US dollars. So it's 35, 40 bucks Canadian, but I'm in the United States and it's 35, 40 bucks. I couldn't even believe. So I live in Atlanta and I'm back and forth between Miami and Atlanta. I couldn't believe that it's basically the same price here, or that they actually have it here. So anyways, let's get into this damn fucking video. All right, so look, meeting women at a bar is one of the easiest things that you can do, and you don't even have to do cold approach. You don't have to do anything. So that's what I'm getting into this video. All right, so let's go. So obviously you have to sit at a bar, all right? And what I've learned is if you are attracted to attractive women, and especially younger women, you have to go to a swankier type of place, okay? So you can go to a swanky Mexican place, Italian place, doesn't matter, but make sure the bar, it's a large bar and the chairs are comfortable because women hate wooden stools. And the type of women that you're most likely going to be into are not going to like sports bars kind of stuff, right? So go to a bar, go to a restaurant that has a large bar and the stools are really comfortable. They've got nice, cool, swanky music. Maybe they have a DJ or something like that. Okay, so that's kind of first thing. Next, stay off your damn fucking phone, okay? Stay off your phone. Don't have earphones in your ears. Don't be sitting there with sunglasses, all right? And so stay off the phone. Don't have earbuds and don't be wearing sunglasses. You need to be approachable, all right? So you're sitting there and you can have, this is what I suggest, while you're sitting at the bar by yourself, you're not looking at anyone else. You're just kind of in your own space, all right? And this is a good segue into what I'm going to talk about, but you're in your own space and you've got a masculine drink on your hand. And I mentioned this before, do not have a feminine drink. And there's psychology studies that have proven that perception on what you're drinking, and when women look at you, doesn't matter what you're wearing, and they see you with a certain drink in your hand, they will perceive you and judge you based on that fucking drink. That is true. So if you have a Long Island iced tea, the bartender thinks, oh, he just wants to get drunk. You have some kind of fluffy espresso martini, some fancy thing in a glass, they're gonna think maybe you're gay. That is true. You got a masculine drink like an old-fashioned like this, they'll be like, oh shit, that's a dude. He is heterosexual and he's a man's man. Okay, that is the perception. This is so important, guys. Don't ignore this. It is fact. All right. Next, what it kind of adds to something and it makes it easier for women to approach you or say something is if you have your laptop beside you. So imagine this, you're sitting at the bar, you got your old fashioned, doesn't have to be an old fashioned, but something like that, and you have your laptop open. Women are trying to always find an excuse if they're into you, but in general, if you have this aura about you, to start up a conversation, because that's how a lot of conversations happen at a restaurant, is at the bar. So these girls are sitting beside you, you've got your old fashioned and you've got your laptop open, and you're not looking at some boring politics and shit like that news. No, you're working on something. Maybe, so for in my case, I'm working on scripts, right? For this YouTube channel. And sometimes a woman will say, because they're very discreet, right? They will say, "Oh, so what are you working on?" The laptop is a prop, and it helps again initiate women to initiate conversation with you. So that's number one, is sit at the bar, but with those things that I mentioned to you. So sit at the bar, have yourself a masculine drink, and ideally you've got a prop like a laptop because you're working on something, but not something like I said that you're just reading the news about politics and what's going on with wars around the world. No, it's something interesting, right? Maybe you're into guitars, maybe you're into motorcycles, so you're looking at motorcycle websites. What you're using a laptop for in that situation is something cool, something masculine that she's going to ask you about. Okay, so next, this is a huge secret you've never heard from any YouTuber talking about dating advice for older guys ever, I promise you. That is, talk to the bartender about dating. That's right. Ignore the girls beside you. Don't give them any attention. Direct your attention to the bartender. Male or female, doesn't matter. And you start conversations about dating. And you say, maybe you're asking them, so how's dating life for you in Atlanta, Miami, whatever the city is? And they're going to ask you, how's dating advice? How's dating for you? And you say, as an older guy, it's interesting. Bumble's the fucking worst. I prefer Hinge, but even then, dating apps are the shit. And I prefer to meet people organically. What about you? And you're having this back and forth with the bartender. Guaranteed 100%. The women beside you are listening. And guess what? They're going to engage in your conversation. Guaranteed. Whether they're married or not, guaranteed they're going to engage over time. Because you know why? Because everyone is obsessed with relationships and dating, and it's funny, it's entertaining, it's dramatic, all these things, right? It stimulates a lot of emotions in us. It's amazing, amazing, amazing conversation starter. And you're not even initiating, you're just like this with the bartender, right? Again, you have to be classy about it and respectful about it, but ignore the women beside you. So now you're sitting there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 50 minutes, 20 minutes, doesn't matter. And you've got your laptop open, you've got your masculine drink, you're shooting the shit with the bartender, male or female, and you get on the topic of dating and stuff like this, and you're not giving these women any attention. I'm telling you guys, this works every time for me. So you're doing that, and eventually they're going to chime into the conversation. They're going to look at you and like, oh my God, really? Yeah, I had the same experience. Bumble is the shit. This sucks. Hinge is not even the worst. Hinge is even worse or something, whatever it is. And then you can turn around and use that as your opening, okay? And say, oh, so how do you normally meet people? Again, you're just being natural, organic, and you have no idea how many women I've met that way. Moving along, number 3, and I'm only going to cover 3 things today in this video, is so you have all these things, right? You're at the bar, you got your masculine drink, you got your laptop, you're talking about dating, and you're wearing something fucking cool. Maybe it's a crazy shirt. Maybe it's a cowboy hat. Maybe you have not clothes, but maybe you've got tattoos along your arm. I don't have any tattoos. I'm actually thinking of getting some tattoos because I love tattoos. Okay, this is controversial, but I actually like tattoos on women. Not too much, but I really do. And so one of the things I've been thinking about is getting like a sleeve tattoo on my arm, but I don't have any tattoos at the moment. But if you do, that is a conversation starter. Why? Because if you're wearing a short sleeve shirt and you're shooting the shit with the bartender and all these things, right? Women will naturally ask you, oh, what does that mean if you've got like some hieroglyphics on your arm or something like that? Or what's that significance of those two people on your arm? Like, you want to look for props and making it easier for women to actually engage with you. So laptop, tattoos, maybe you've got a motorcycle helmet right beside you, right? Or right on the counter, and they're going to go, what kind of motorcycle do you have? So again, props, and women are discreet, but they will only engage if there's something interesting to engage about. Okay. So, like I said, you can have this shirt or this jacket, and they will compliment you and say, that's a really cool jacket. Where'd you get it? Or that's a cool hat. Where'd you get it? Again, props. Okay. So, last thing I'm going to leave you with is this. If she starts a conversation with you, doesn't matter what it is, she compliments, she asks a question, it's your cue. It's your cue and the opening. And you take that and then you expand on it. And so doesn't matter what she says, and you're like, oh, cool. So do you have a leather jacket? Do you have a cowboy hat? Doesn't matter. And Nick, guys, again, I cannot emphasize enough how many times this has happened to me, how many women I've sat at the bar and I didn't give them any attention at all. I just sat there and I had my masculine drink again, right? I had my laptop, maybe. I was engaging in a conversation with the bartender. I had a prop with me, something. And women will have naturally opened the conversation with something. And then I've used that as my opening to then go from there and eventually get a phone number and get a date. So hope you like this video. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of what I've said in the second point, and that is having a conversation with the bartender about dating and relationships. All right, we'll see you next time.